Hey everybody, Roman versus with the Squashfest podcast and my co-host.
The immaculate Don Cena.
It's fitting, but what?
If our truth can be Ron Cena, I am Don Cena.
Got it.
And Ron Cena is my childhood hero.
Ron Cena's your childhood hero?
Ron Cena is now my childhood hero.
Yo, the shirt he had on had me rolling. I love that.
That dude is amazing.
Now the question is, are they going to sell that as actual merch?
I don't think so. I think it's a one-off.
I know, but if they sold that as actual merch, I would buy that shirt now. I'm telling you that right now. Anyways, so today is a little different. What we're going to be doing, we're going to review Smackdown, and then we're going to review followed up immediately by Saturday Night Main Event. Because it's not really a PLE, but it's a PLE special. So we decided we're just going to put them all together and not do a separate show for that. Right?
Yeah.
Yo.
Makes it easier, I'll be.
There's a lot of things that pissed me off on SmackDown, so let's get through it.
You didn't enjoy SmackDown?
It was good for certain parts, and then other parts were just... I was over it.
Then I'm going to let you control the narrative on this one, because I actually enjoyed SmackDown a lot.
Did you?
All right. Yes, I did.
Okay.
All right. So we start SmackDown with the superstars making their traditional entrance into the arena.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately, and I know this is probably what's going to piss you off.
Yep.
Immediately, as Drew McIntyre is making his entrance into the arena, Damien Priest and Drew McIntyre start brawling in the back.
Yep.
And commentary is making the point of they have a steel cage match the next night on Saturday night's Main Event.
Yep.
But these two guys cannot. It's on site. As soon as they see each other, they want to murder each other.
Uh-huh.
So they're brawling in the back. They get separated. Eventually, they cut to the ring, and this is the last you see of them, or so we thought. Mm-hmm. We'll get to that later.
So you explain to me how I'm not supposed to be pissed off about a feud that just won't die. And then they don't even have a match tonight. The match is tomorrow night, and I still gotta start the show with them beating each other up. How am I not supposed to be pissed? That's the gist of the night. Let's go. Keep it up. Let's go.
Okay. So we get to the arena.
Mm-hmm.
And we immediately get to Tiffany Stratton coming to the ring.
Yep.
She starts, her promo is standard babyface. I'm the champion. I beat Charlotte Flair. Doesn't matter who comes and wins Money in the Bank. They better not cash in on me, because as long as I have this, it's always going to be Tiffy time.
Yep.
That's essentially her promo.
Yep.
She gets interrupted by Alexa Bliss.
Let's go.
I love Alexa on the mic.
Yep.
I forget how good she is. She's been gone for so long. It comes off so natural to her. And she's cutting a promo, and she's like, even to the point where she goes, "Hey, Tiffy, can I call you Tiffy?" And little things like that.
My favorite bar was when she was like, "Yeah," and then I cashed in and beat Nia. And I like Nia.
But I actually like Nia.
If I actually like Nia, but I don't know you. That right there, that had me a little excited. I was like, ooh. I was like, that's scathing.
Yeah. So she's telling, exactly. She's telling Tiffany, "I'm gonna win Money in the Bank, and I'm gonna cash in on you, just like I cashed in on Nia, just like you cashed in on Nia."
Yep.
And she calls Charlotte a narcissist, and she does the callback to calling her a queen, doing that little stupid hand gesture she does. Yeah, exactly. They both get interrupted by Charlotte Flair.
Yep, of course.
Because Charlotte later that night has a Money in the Bank qualifying.
Later that night, it's like the next match.
It's the next match. It's the next match right after this. It was right after this.
Yeah.
So Charlotte basically telling Tiffany, "Hey, I'm going to come back and take that title, even if I have to win Money in the Bank to do it, because I've never won Money in the Bank." And Tiffany looks at her and says, "Wait, didn't you say Money in the Bank is a cheap way to get to the World Championship?" Yep. And Charlotte melts and she goes, "That's true. I did say that."
Mm-hmm.
But then Tiffany literally just walks out the ring, says something, and stands tall over the both of them while they're there. And then Julia's music hits. Julia and Tiffany have a little face to face
A little moment, yeah.
yeah, and she enters the ring because we're getting Julia, Zelina,
And Charlotte.
and Charlotte Flair in the Money in the Bank qualifying match. I was underwhelmed with this match.
This match started off very clunky.
It's very clunky.
Very clunky. And what it came down to, and it's not her fault, but they're not used to wrestling someone as small as Zelina. That's what threw them both off.
And I don't think Julia and Charlotte have had time to actually work together.
They did not have that chemistry down as you know that it will happen down the road. They'll have that chemistry, but it just was not there last night.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like the early stages. It was like if they, which it is, the first time they ever got in the ring together.
It's like if you ever, and I don't know if you've ever been to a live event, a house show. If you ever watch somebody wrestle at a live event or a house show, they're working through the motions of getting through the match. So that way when they get on TV, things will look crisp. Everything in this match, especially on Julia's part, felt like she was moving at half speed.
Yep.
That's how I felt this match was, because she's a great wrestler.
She was trying to make sure that she was in her spots.
Yeah.
And then it was just like that confusion of, am I in the spot? Oh, I am in the spot. Okay, doom, hit my move, or, get hit with whatever. It was just, it was very clunky. And that's another one of the issues. That's another one of the issues that I had last night was that this match, when we first heard about this match, we were both saying that this is going to be a banger between Charlotte and Julia. And Zelina was going to be there, but it was going to, for the most part, be a banger.
Yeah.
And then what we got was not that. No, so I was just, I was disappointed, but it's one of the spots that annoyed me during the night.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when she did that little neck cracker thing when she stood over Charlotte and she had her feet around her neck and she was trying to do that spin
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. She she went so slow. And I'm just like, that did not look good.
Yeah.
Towards the finish of the match, Charlotte keeps trying to get the figure 8 on Zelina. First time Zelina reverses it into a small package for a pin. Charlotte kicks out. Eventually, she gets it on, and Julia gets on the top rope and does like a double knee stop, almost a coup de grace via Finn Balor, onto Charlotte's surgically repaired knee, getting her out of the match. And then she hits Zelina with what they called I think they called it a Northern Lights bomb, but it looked like a brain buster. I think she hit her with a brain buster for the 3 count, and Julia gets to qualify for Money in the Bank, which I'm really excited for.
Yep.
I think her and Roxanne Perez, Alexa Bliss, and somebody else is in this match.
I already forgot who it was.
Yeah. This match could be really good. Those women could go out there and have a really good show in a couple weeks. They're really starting to highlight some of the younger, newer talent. As much as it may infuriate Becky Lynch.
Julia, Alexa Bliss, Roxanne, and Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley, right, because she won the match on Monday, yes. Early prediction for me is I think Julia wins, but we'll see.
But don't they have 2 more people to enter, right? All right. Okay.
I think they announced next week we're getting Jade, Naomi, and Nia Jax in a triple threat qualifying match.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because that's everybody in that feud right now. So that's very interesting to me. All you need is for Tiffany to get in there somehow, and that's literally everybody in that 4-way feud. Okay.
Yeah, she doesn't even need to. But Tiffany doesn't need to interject herself with that.
No. I understand that. I'm just saying that that's literally everybody. If Tiffany were to interject, that's everybody who's been in that feud for the last few weeks.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the 5th advertised match for SmackDown. I don't know what the match is for Raw. I can look it up. It's Raw tonight, but
got me.
That's tomorrow.
It's fine.
All right. So then I will talk about this next match because you missed it. Chris Sabin and Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, I have no idea how I missed it completely.
Um, really good match. These two guys, they make a point that these two guys have never actually had a singles match against each other in their professional wrestling careers. They've had plenty of tag matches going back to their PWG days, their indie days, and then obviously on SmackDown, it seems like these two teams are wrestling every week now. But Chris Sabin's one of those guys who just you don't realize how good he is until you watch him outside of a tag match, and a singles match is great. Um, really fun match.
Would you be upset if if I told you I had to look up who Chris Sabin was right now?
No, I know you didn't know who it was. You don't know which one is which.
No, but I didn't know who he was at all. I thought he was a single star, and then you're talking, and I'm like, who the hell is this?
Motor City Machine Guns.
I just know them as Motor City Machine Guns. I don't know their individual names. I don't know them.
Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin.
Sure.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
When they do something worth notating who they are, cool, I got you. I know Montez Ford. Huh?
They're both former TNA
I know.
Impact. They're both former TNA Impact World Heavyweight Champions.
That's not canon.
Yes, it is. Look at Trick Williams.
Okay.
All right. So you missed this. So you missed the end. They're having a really good match back and forth. Sabin's about to take control of the match after Gargano distracts and Shelley fights him off and all this other stuff. Returning Candice LeRae comes and helps Champa win. She distracts Sabin. She hits him with the guillotine over the ropes, and Champa hits I think it was a fairy tale ending. No, he had a running knee. He had a running knee for the win to get the win over Chris Sabin. Fun match. Like I said, unless you're like him, go out and watch this match because I don't understand how you don't know your wrestlers.
I don't know them until they do something noteworthy. That's it.
Okay. Beforehand, we did have a DIY video segment where they're just saying same thing. Everyone's conspiring against us. We should be tag team champions. Da 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 da. This is the match that you might have to take over on. I know the ending of it. Secret Hervice versus Michin and BFab. Beforehand, in
a backstage,
we had a backstage segment where Chelsea Green is just walking through with Secret Hervice.
Mm-hmm.
And Zelina gets in her face and just hits her for some reason. I don't know. She was picking on Zelina, calling her so small or something. And Zelina hits her with a forearm. The three of them start beating down Zelina, and
Michin and BFab
come in with kendo sticks.
And then they were like, "We need that." They were like, "Zelina got her lick back already. We need our lick back tonight." And he was like, "Good idea." I didn't understand that. I didn't understand that either, but I just ran with it. I was like, "Okay." I thought about that too. I was like, "She didn't though. She got beat up."
Yeah.
Whatever. It's fine. So
she gets her lick back during this match.
Yeah. There's not much to say. They had a match. BFab got the pin. I thought that was very telling, and immediately I thought of you because you have such a problem with BFab for some reason.
I don't have a problem with.
You have a problem with. You just don't want her on your television screen. That's your problem.
I have a problem with mediocrity.
Okay, John Cena.
That's exactly it.
So that was it. I mean, that was the only takeaway from the match that I got, realistically. There wasn't much to this match. It was just a match. I feel like it was just a match that they had to throw onto the card to, keep the show going. Add another, kill some time. Let's showcase somebody that we're not really using, but keep it up. And again, this is coming out after BFab was on social media, complaining about her position in the company, so on and so forth. Not really per se complaining about, like, I don't know how to explain it. She wasn't really complaining. It was more of, I
She
don't
was
like where I'm at. Like in character, in kayfabe, she was saying, I don't like where I'm at. I'm gonna keep getting better. Blah 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 blah. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm
it
gonna
was
elevate
more,
myself.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was more of a PSA introspection of I can be
I
doing more, and I'm going to be pushing myself harder.
exactly. So coming out of that, and then having this match and having her pick up the win, kind of
Yeah,
telling.
Zelina comes out and gets her lick back to hit Chelsea. Michin hits Eat the Feet, and BFab hits. It looked pretty cool. She started in like a neck breaker and turned it into like a faceplant finisher. Congratulations, BFab, on your one and only pinfall victory this
Why?
year.
Why?
Um,
You are so disrespectful. Congrats, and I mean that.
I mean, she's not gonna get another pinfall victory until 2027.
You don't
So
know that. Maybe this is her
Finn
push.
Balor, Finn Balor went 18 months without a pinfall victory. You're telling me they're gonna give BFab more than
Okay,
one?
you
Get out
tell
of
me
here.
all the time how wins and losses don't matter for certain people. It does not matter for Finn Balor.
It doesn't. I agree with that.
It
But
doesn't. So maybe it does for BFab now because she's been getting nothing but L's, and she hasn't been getting attention. And now she just got. Maybe this is the first of many.
they just brought Julia to the show. They just brought back Alexa Bliss, and they just brought back the Wyatts, which we'll talk about later.
I'm
So you
not
have the
telling
Dominion
her. I'm not
Cross.
telling. I'm not telling you that she's gonna be like top of the card. I'm just saying maybe this is her ascension into the mid card. We don't know.
Okay. All right. So then we get
It
the
upsets
backstage
him. It
segment.
upsets him so
It's
much.
because I know it's not. All right, so then we have a backstage segment where because we're getting we got Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo. That upsets me.
That upsets me every time I hear his name. Every time I hear his name.
The Jeff Cobb. So but we have to call him JC Mateo. We get Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo in a tag match
But
against
before
Jimmy
that, they have
Uso.
the backstage.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm going
Okay.
to talk about the backstage right
Okay.
now. I said we were getting the backstage because of that. Because we get so Jake Jacob basically looks at JC Mateo and Solo's like, "What's your problem with him?" And Solo says, "I don't know you, I don't like you, I don't trust you, and you're not family."
But before that, Solo was trying to reiterate the fact that JC was family and
Yeah.
that he, like that's his guy and we need to work together and the three of us, there's always a plan and if we listen to my plan, and then that's when Jacob was like, you're not family, I don't know you and all that stuff. Like Solo had, he first planted those seeds and then Jacob was like, nah, we digging all these shits back up.
Mm-hmm. Uh, I mean, my indie wrestling brain immediately went to they've had plenty of matches, but whatever. That's not canon in WWE.
Yeah.
So we're getting that match, and I had to think about why we were getting this match because it seemed really random that we were getting Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo against Ray Phoenix and Jimmy Uso.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really remember why, but apparently last week during the triple threat match, they caused for the Money in the Bank qualifying match, they cost both Jimmy and Ray the match that Solo ended up winning. So they ended
Copy.
up making the tag match for
That
that night.
that makes sense.
But it made my brain hurt. I'm like, why are we getting this random match? So then we get the match. Really fun match.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know you're a huge Ray Phoenix guy.
Love him.
I like Jimmy Uso a lot. I think he's very entertaining. I love Jacob Fatu.
That spin move in the air when
Oh,
Jimmy was holding him. Yeah,
the
Jimmy was
corkscrew
holding him, and then
puncher?
that was
That
sick.
corkscrew punch was crazy. So and I've been a Jeff Cobb fan since Lucha Underground, and I've been praising him for a long time. Really, really fun match. I couldn't stop to think that I want Jacob Fatu, and I think his ascension will eventually be world champion one day. But if they wanted to sidebar and turn these two into a monster heel tag team, that could be a really fun tag team to watch. Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo in that tag division against guys like Fraxiom and Street Profits and everything else, because that's the one thing WWE doesn't have right now is a big monster heel tag team.
Mhm.
So that was just a sidebar thought I had.
You have a tag team that should be monsters, but they're not booked that way.
Well, AOP's gone, so who are you talking about?
The War Raiders.
Oh, the War Raiders, yes, over on Raw. They should be booked like monsters. The problem with that is it's hard to book monster babyface tag team, right?
No, 100%.
So they'd have to go heel again.
And what's the problem with that? Make them heel. They'll be a lot more interesting than this babyface that they're on.
But then they don't have any babyface tag teams on Raw.
Figure it out. Get another one. You have plenty of teams not being utilized. You have plenty of people that could be a tag team that aren't a tag team. You got plenty of ways to fix that problem. So,
yeah. Fun match, simple match. Wasn't anything crazy except for a couple of Phoenix spots. JC Mateo eventually hits Jimmy Uso with the Tour of the Islands, that spinning power slam for the win. And even after the match, you still saw in the ring, Mateo and Cobb just staring each other down, even though they got the win. Like they're not trusting each other just yet. Later in the show, we had another backstage segment when they're walking through. Solo's like, I told you guys, if you just follow my plan, if you just follow my lead, everything will be good. And Jacob looks at Solo and says, I love you, Solo. But it wasn't the enthusiastic I love you, Solo. It was more like a condescending I love you, Solo, like I'm laughing at you. Like that's the way I took it. He was more like, I love you, Solo, and then walked away. That's the way I took it.
I didn't take it condescendingly. I took it as he's happy that they won the match. Like, just real quick, I love you, Solo, and then walked away. I didn't take it condescendingly. It didn't, like, his facial expression didn't give me condescending. You know what I mean?
To me, it'll be like if me and you were having not an argument or a conversation, and I wanted to end the conversation by just agreeing with you.
Yeah, no, I got
you. That's how I took what he was saying.
I got you. He was like, he ain't say that in 6 months.
Yeah, he said it 6 months. And Jeff Cobb looks at me and he goes, what was it? He goes, are you okay with this? Or something like that. And
yeah. Because they're both going to be, Jacob's going to be in a qualifying match next week. And basically, if he wins that, then they're both in the Money in the Bank. So he was saying, are you okay with this?
Was that a third segment or was that the same segment?
No, that was another that was the same segment, but that was like the second segment.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because he announced Nick Aldis walks up on him and tells him, Jacob, you're going to be in the qualifying match next week, which we find out later it's him, Carmelo, and Andrade. Then we get...
That'll be a match.
That'll be a great match. I think Carmelo should win. Jacob doesn't need the briefcase. He's the United States champion. Plus, he's in
and right now. And we're not doing anything with Andrade.
Yeah, I know.
So, which not for nothing that leads into a perfect segue. I mean, it happens a little later, but realistically, the Miz and I was gonna say the Carmelo and Miz segment where basically he was like, Miz was telling him, he was like, oh. No. Carmelo was telling him how he got a qualifier match, and then Miz was like, no, I got you the qualifier match. He was like, Nick Aldis came to me, and he asked me, it was between us, and I said, no, give it to you. And this is more of the Miz sacrificing himself.
Yep.
It's just so weird seeing him week after week sacrifice himself for Carmelo Hayes to give him these opportunities. Now, don't get me wrong. I love it. Don't get me wrong, it's well-deserved, it's smart, but why? Like, he just keeps doing it. And from nothing but, so far, it doesn't seem like there's a hidden agenda. That's what's throwing me off. That would make sense if, like, the Miz was planning a backstab, but it doesn't even look like that. It looks like he genuinely just wants Carmelo to win. He genuinely just wants to elevate him. That is so out of character, and especially for a heel Miz. But it's intriguing as hell, because every time I'm like, oh snap, he did that. That's dope. You understand what I mean? Like, he's pulling me in, but I just want to know, like, is there something there? Is there a reason? Like, what's going on?
It'll only make the backstab when Carmelo fails at everything Miz is doing for him even better.
100%.
Then we get a Legado del Fantasma promo or vignette. Hear me out.
Uh-huh.
Did it seem like they went to one of their abuela's living rooms and just sat at the kitchen table?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. That's exactly what it looked like.
They weren't at a restaurant.
Nope.
They weren't at a bar.
They were in someone's crib, 100%. They were at one of their in-laws. Yeah, somebody's living room, just chopping it up.
At a kitchen table,
just chopping it up. Yes, 1,000%.
I saw this and I was just like, "Where are they? What is this happening?" I'm waiting for some old lady to come and give them a cafecito, like something.
I agree. Right, that's exactly what it looked like.
So we got Santos Escobar sitting at the head of the table with Humberto's guys on, and
he's trying to give him a motivational speech. Yeah. Humberto immediately was just like, "Here we go, another stupid motivational." He's so over
disrespectful.
Yeah, he's like, "Here we go, another stupid motivational speech." He's like, "No, it's not another." Stupid motivational speech. This is different. And then he's trying to sell him on a pipe dream. And then he's telling him that's the point. It's more of the same. But Santos is telling him, no, this is worlds collide. This is different. And that's immediately when Berto's intrigue got sparked real quick. Because he's like, worlds collide. Okay, this is different. He's like, not for nothing. This is a chance for us to show what we got. This is not in a WWE audience. This is in front of our people. This is in front of our Mexican audience. That's how he said it.
Yes, but it's going to be in Los Angeles.
But I understand what you're saying, but he said in front of our people. He made a point to say that. He said this is in front of our people. Because at the end of the day, everybody in AAA is going to be watching this.
Yes, correct.
That's the fan base.
Okay. So he tells them that they're gonna have a 6-man tag at Worlds Collide, and he doesn't sell them against 2. He goes, "Cheers to it! It's gonna be great for us to and a new spark for the family." And Berto doesn't cheers. He takes his entire glass of red wine and drinks.
Just chugs it. Yep.
Just chugs it
to himself. He was like, "And I'm out," and he disappeared.
And Angel goes, "Should I go after him?" And something's like, "No, just let him go."
Because he feels like winning this match will fix everything, basically.
Correct. So we do find out they're going to be facing Psycho Clown, Hijo del Dr. Wagner, and somebody else.
I could have told you that one. You should have guessed the other one because we're not going to get the other one.
I'll look it up.
It doesn't matter. It's fine. Another luchador. Just look up Worlds Collide.
Yeah, it's doing it right now. We also found out during SmackDown that we are getting Chad Gable.
Yes.
Not El Grande Americano. Yeah. It would have been hilarious if they did El Grande Americano.
No, what I think would be hilarious is if they booked them both. That's what they should do.
Oh, God. Pagano. It's Pagano. That's what we're facing. We're getting Chad Gable versus Hijo del Vikingo. And that match, if you've never watched an Hijo del Vikingo match, this dude is like 98 Rey Mysterio with 17 more flips in every match.
He better beat Chad. He better beat Chad. I'm telling you that right now. That's like their mainstay.
I think he's their number one guy other than Alberto Del Patron, and they're never going to let him on WWE TV. So if this were versus El Grande Americano, I would say El Grande Americano wins. Because it's over Chad, I think
agree. That's what I'm saying. As soon as I heard it's Chad, I said he better win.
Yeah. All right. So then we got an R-Truth promo.
Mm-hmm.
And R-Truth,
I thought it was effective.
It was an effective promo. Him trying to be serious, still comes off as hilarious. I don't
Mhm.
know what it is, but this man is cutting a promo basically saying that John Cena is his childhood hero, and he's not fighting his childhood hero on Saturday night's main event. He's fighting a guy he doesn't recognize.
Yep.
He's got if he's got to beat the hustle, loyalty, and respect back into John, he will, and he culminates his thing with the ECW things. If Cena wins, we riot.
Yep.
And it was an effective promo. It just, like I said, did I need it? No, but it was just to get more people to watch the show on the next night.
I thought it was good. It was fine.
It was fine. LA Knight, Aleister Black, and Shinsuke Nakamura in the Money in the Bank qualifying match.
Now this match I didn't need, and here's why: because LA Knight was in it, and I'm tired of it. I just want to point that out. And then the fact that he's the one that won the match pissed me off royally. Because I could have easily believed it would have been Aleister Black, or it could have easily been Shinsuke, and I'd have been good with it. But the fact that it was LA Knight, and I'm like, this man is still getting a push, even though like he's not going nowhere, and he's definitely getting lost in the shuffle with all the people who are coming up, and there's no reason for him to win this damn thing. That's it. That's my rant. I didn't need it. I ain't need it. Okay. So you can say whatever you want, but that's what it was. I think Shinsuke should have won it, or Aleister, but I would have gone with Shinsuke just because, again, we're not doing anything with him, but at the same time we want him to be semi-relevant. It's weird what they're doing with him. He's like in this weird place. So I would have given it to him because realistically, Aleister doesn't need it.
The majority of this match was predicated on Shinsuke versus Aleister Black exchanging strikes and Muay Thai and karate strikes.
Yep.
LA Knight was just around.
He was there.
He was just there. And even towards the end, when Aleister hits the Black Mass and he just throws Aleister, and LA Knight throws Aleister out of the ring and just
made me so mad.
He didn't pick Shinsuke up and culminate it with a BFT, no elbow drop. He just threw him out of the ring like heels would do, like a heel would do, and just pinned him.
Yes.
Like I was just like, wait, that's the finish of this match?
Yes.
It surprised me that LA Knight won as well. I would have went Aleister. Again, you need to make these guys who are coming back seem like a big deal. Especially when their first run on the main roster didn't go well. Shinsuke, I think it's already too late to make the majority of the wrestling or WWE fan care for Shinsuke Nakamura.
You think it's too late? I think at any moment in time you can switch it around.
We've tried to make him the U.S. champion, and that failed. We tried to make him win the Royal Rumble.
No. Hold up. They made him the U.S. champion, but they didn't do anything with him.
Correct. I don't know.
That's not his fault. That's booking.
I never said it was his fault. I said that I think the majority of the WWE fan, when they hear Shinsuke Nakamura right now, they're going to roll their eyes and change the channel.
But they can easily change that. They can either make him... Right now, he's a heel, right?
Yes.
They can easily make him do something really screwed up that'll make them get Dom heat. Look at Charlotte. They tried to come in and have her just return on some I'm returning thing and make her just everybody fall in line. And immediately she's getting that Dom heat. He can all you have to actually do is have him do something of value to get that heat. He's a heel who doesn't do anything heel. He's a heel who isn't in any actual feuds with anybody. That's the point. That's why we don't care. It's not because the character it's because you're not doing anything with the character. And essentially the problem is too, him and Aleister kind of fall into the same bubble. It's like this weird mystique, but set in reality villain. Mm-hmm. And now we got this shiny new toy in Aleister that's where your attention's going to go, and you're not going to pay attention to Shinsuke. But realistically, they're the same thing. Have them do something. That's all they have to do. They can fix this easily. They just don't. That's the difference. But it's not that we don't care. We don't care now because of how they're booking them. They can easily switch that. In 1 week, they can switch that.
I don't disagree with you. I just don't have I don't think Paul Levesque can do it. I think he's the one guy. There are very few things with Triple H, his booking, that I will always question right now. For some reason, Shinsuke Nakamura he has not been able to crack on the main roster even after Vince has been gone. It's sometimes it's his women's division, sometimes it's his tag division. Yes, you could figure. Do I think they can do it with Shinsuke? Yes. Do I think he has the bandwidth with everything else going on to find a spot for him that's going to make us actually care? No, I don't think he's going to be able to do it.
I'll agree with that.
All right. So then we got our main event. I think before that we got a backstage segment where Alexa's talking to her doll for some reason, and Charlotte.
I missed this too.
This? Alexa's talking to her doll, and Charlotte's walking. So Charlotte's walking in the back, and Alexa's talking about this is why you need friends, the power, and blah blah blah. Because even when you're down, friends will always lift you up. And Charlotte looks at her and goes, "What are you talking about?" And Alexa goes, "I wasn't talking to you," and shows Charlotte Lily.
I did not see that. And I missed that somehow.
Okay, and then walks away. So it still seems like they're planting seeds for some sort of Charlotte Alexa thing after Money in the Bank.
Copy.
Which doesn't give me hopes for Alexa winning that briefcase.
I mean, there's a lot of star power in that match right now.
There is. Again, I still think it should be Roxanne or Julia. I think Julia should walk away with it. And we'll see what the last two people are, because I think Naomi should get in. And then I don't know what the last match is. So our main event.
I do agree with Naomi, and the reason I say Naomi is because if Naomi wins the briefcase, it also moves her a little bit away from the Jade feud. And we kind of want that.
Absolutely. And I don't want to see... You know what? I'm just going to keep my comments to myself about Jade.
Do it. Do it. Believe. Trust your gut.
I don't say I just don't want to see Jade.
No, I meant trust your gut and don't say what you were going to say.
Oh, okay. I thought you said trust my gut and go ahead and say
no, that's not where we were going with that.
Okay. I just want to say Jade with a ladder, no bueno. That's what I'll go that far.
Okay. I can't with you.
All right. So then we got our main event.
I was going to say, it's bad enough. You know, my pet peeve with ladder matches is when they forget how to climb ladders. So I could only imagine Jade trying to go up the ladder.
So, and this may come off a little bit. Whenever a women's wrestler tries to set up a table, they can never get it up properly.
Yes.
It's like we've discussed this. It's like they've never went to a picnic and actually ever helped out.
Ever.
I can only imagine Jade Cargill, who I still think she's not a rookie, but she's still not a veteran. Yeah. She's still learning. I can only imagine Jade Cargill with 5 other women running around her around that match, trying to set up a ladder in the middle of that ring. No, I don't need to see it. I don't want to see it. No. Have somebody else set it up and then you do something. All right, so we got our main event.
The way you describe it's like a handicap. Like they just need the refs to set up the ladders.
Yes, 100%. I want to see the ref in the middle of the ring. Here, Jade, this leg goes down here. This leg goes here. Hit the thing. Make sure it's locked and stabilized.
I hate you.
God. All right, so our main event. Nathan Frazier and Axiom take on Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins for the WWE Tag Team Championships.
Now, I already told you this match pissed me off.
No, you told me the ending pissed you off.
This whole thing pissed me off. It's literally from the beginning to end. So from the beginning, it's a great match, right? It starts off. They're very excited. They're doing their high fly moves. They're hitting all their spots. Love it. And then when everybody decides to join the match is when I get pissed off. Everybody and their mother. They said, you know what it reminded me of? Whenever there's a Royal Rumble or a Battle Royal or something coming up where it encompasses everybody, and the night before, they're like, you know what? Just to highlight that, we have to encompass everybody in this match. Let's get everybody that we can think of, everybody fathomable that would be in this. Let's throw them all in there tonight. That's what this was. They threw every tag team that they could think of that was backstage for whatever God knows reason. They threw everybody in this piece. And then they were like, but that's not enough.
Okay, well, I'll get to that in a second. I'll get to that in a second. The reason I thought their first match 2 weeks ago was better.
Yes.
The story 2 weeks ago was Street Profits were hurt.
Yeah.
Coming off the TLC match.
Yeah.
Fraxiom was coming up and they defeated a beaten down Street Profits. The story in this match was Street Profits are at 100%. They're your tag team champions. Mm-hmm. I totally felt like all of the offense went Fraxiom's way.
Yes.
Every time Street Profits tried to get a little bit of offense, mm-hmm. Fraxiom had an answer. Mm-hmm. And Street Profits were kind of wrestling like heels in this match. They weren't wrestling like baby faces.
Yeah.
So it just felt like, and I know the story is they were taking these young guys not limit. Seriously. Well, yeah. They're not taking the young guys seriously because now they're at 100% and they're like, oh, we're the tag champions, they can't beat us. And then Fraxiom is taking the Profits to their limit and throwing everything they can at them to try to win those tag titles.
Yep.
And even towards the end of the match, after they hit the actually before that, so 2 weeks ago in the first match, remember the spot I said was my favorite when Montez broke up the pinfall and springboarded into a European uppercut to cut him off.
Yeah.
He tried to do that again this time, and Axiom in his mind remembered that from 2 weeks ago and caught him with a drop kick coming off. So they did a callback to that spot just to show you that Fraxiom was ahead.
Yeah.
They learned and they're ahead of the Street Profits and everything they want. Fraxiom hits their tag team finish, which is the Spanish fly off one of the top rope, and then the Phoenix splash off the other. Montez breaks it up, and that's when DIY comes out. Mm-hmm. DIY comes out, and they try to get on the ring apron. And because of how many times they've been beating down Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, I'm going to keep doing that every time so you learn their names. Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, they come out and they attack DIY. Mm-hmm. They're fighting on the corner of the ring. The corner of the ring from the entranceway, so to the right of the entranceway.
Yep.
And Montez, instead of paying attention to his match, does the babyface thing. Is like, there's a brawl happening outside here. I'm gonna go jump and attack every single one of them. Mm-hmm. So he jumps, does this plancha over the corner from inside the ring to the outside, takes everybody out. Angelo Dawkins hits a spine buster, and he's immediately yelling for Montez. Montez gets on the top rope to hit his frog splash on Axiom, the other one, Nathan Frazier. And as soon as he gets to the top rope, lights cut out, like 30 seconds of darkness. Wyatt Six are standing in the ring.
Mm-hmm. Because again, it's not enough that we got everybody involved. We now need to get people who haven't been on in months involved. That's what we need to do.
They haven't been on in months because Bo got hurt at a house show.
The why doesn't matter. It's the fact that we needed to, for no reason, include them in. There was no reason to include it in this segment.
I agree.
This was more of a let's get everybody at the end of the show. Everybody we can think of. That's what this was.
My fear is that this is the one-off and that they don't actually do anything with the Wyatts, because Friday would have been Bray's 38th birthday. So on Bray's birthday, they bring the Wyatts out to destroy everybody. They lay everybody out. Eventually, Bo hits a Sister Abigail on Johnny Gargano, and the Wyatts are in the ring celebrating. And one of the stagehands out of nowhere comes with a birthday cake and puts it in front of them. And again, it's Bray Wyatt's birthday. Um, uh, his little brother Bo looks up and he goes, "My life for you," and he blows out the candle to take us off the show. We haven't talked about the Wyatts since we started this podcast because they've been off TV for months, so
Yep.
we haven't had needed to talk about the Wyatts. I know you weren't the biggest Bray fan because your thing with Bray was he never wins his feuds, so I don't care about the character. You always said that to me.
I've always said it's not even that he doesn't win his feuds. He doesn't win, period. They had him losing almost... No, I don't care. They had him lose almost every single match, bro, for like 2 years straight. And then you kept telling me wins and losses don't matter. They matter. And especially if you're supposed to be this big monster who's supposed to take people out, and you're not taking nobody out. Like, in none of your feuds, you took out nobody. That's a problem for me.
I would compare his character arc to what we have right now in Karrion Kross,
and I understand that, but even for that, we know it's wrong.
Oh, I know, I agree.
We know it's wrong. But the thing with Bray is he had Vince. That's the problem. Vince didn't know what he was doing. If Bray was here now in the Paul Levesque era, I feel like it would have been way better, and he would book him properly. But he didn't have that.
Yeah, he never really got started because of his COVID issues and then his untimely passing. He never really got a chance to be under.
And that's my point. But you know what? To even say that, I don't even know if that's true, because Paul Levesque hasn't known what to do with the Wyatt Six either.
Okay, so the answer to that is, I don't think they really got... I think the vision for them was supposed to be this group of family or friends of Bray who are healing in their own way, healing from the grieving of whatever. And it was supposed to be healing through hurting people who they viewed as not as disrespecting the idea of family, which is why they originally started with Alpha Academy before Alpha Academy broke up. It quickly shifted to something different, and then Mo got hurt. So I don't know what the actual vision for this group is. If they, because I have always said, they can take that idea of grief in professional wrestling. Mm-hmm. They can tell a really interesting story that's never been done in professional wrestling before.
Again, but the problem is there's nothing to tell us as of right now. There's no evidence that they're gonna do it. There's no evidence that they can do it, because again, it's been months. I don't even know when they debuted. Can we say a year? Okay, so let's say it's been almost a year.
I gotta look.
It's fine. Let's say
it's almost a year.
Almost a year. Let's say almost a year of them not doing jack.
I'll say it's almost a year, yeah.
Can I just say that they're, as a group, they're the Shinsuke Nakamura? Like, they're not doing nothing with them. There's plenty you can do.
I will agree. But like I said, take two of them, put them in the tag division. You take Joe Gacy and you take Dexter Lumis, and I know you don't know which ones those are.
I know exactly who they are. Joey Gacy did the flip in the ring.
Okay.
And Dexter Lumis was the one that was part of the way.
Okay, cool. All right.
Got him! What you think? I don't know who nobody is? I know all these people, bro. Again, if they do something of consequence, I know who they are.
Okay, but you can take those two and put them into the tag division. You can have Bo. Bo doesn't need to wrestle. I'm not saying... I don't think you have Nikki Cross wrestle.
No, I would have them all wrestle except for Bo Dallas, because as Uncle Howdy, I would have him pulling the strings. But again, he's not pulling the strings. You know who's pulling strings? Karrion Kross is pulling strings.
Yes.
And he hasn't even been doing that a lot lately. But he's the one that kept
on TV.
I understand that. That's what I'm saying. He hasn't been doing that a lot lately. But he was the one that was like telling people to go do stuff and like telling them, hey, maybe you should do this. Like that. That's what Bo Dallas should be doing. He should be messing with people. And then when they don't get with the program, that's when he should send the Wyatt Six on them. Because I agree, they shouldn't be like this mystical force like you've been saying. Like,
No.
they're not that. They're more set in realism
Mm-hmm.
over the loss of Bray. And I agree with that. And they could be so captivating. But again, what are you doing with them? Set your sights on somebody and just actually do something. Tell a story. Jesus Christ. It's not that hard. It's really not.
Hopefully they do something with them this time around.
And then people will sit there and be like, why is Roman so mad at SmackDown? These are the reasons why I'm mad at SmackDown. Because there's a whole lot happening with not a whole lot happening. That's why. That's why this SmackDown was not great for me. Because all the stories you told throughout the entire night, the most intriguing was probably Leo de la Fantasma. And they're not even booked for this. They're booked for Worlds Collide.
Did you say Leo de la Fantasma?
Legado Fantasma. I don't even know their name, bro.
Legado del Fantasma. Legend of the Ghost. You're the Hispanic one.
Legado de la Fantasma. Happy Jesus.
You just made them all kings. You made them all lions. I don't even know what you said.
I said
Leo
Legado.
de la. No, the first time you said Leo de la Fantasma,
Who
it's
knows?
like you just made them all lions.
Whatever.
All right, whatever. All right, so that was SmackDown. We have differing opinions on the show. That's perfectly fine. You didn't enjoy SmackDown. So then we got Saturday night's main event. I watched it today. Thank God there was no commercials because I was able to get through it in 90 minutes. I could only imagine what watching this show live with all of the NBC commercials would have been like. Because, yeah. We got some surprises. It actually kicked off really well.
I was gonna say, did we get surprises?
I mean, you got one in the first match, and then you got a returning.
Let's go.
This guy.
Start it from the
This
beginning.
guy.
Start it from
This
the
guy.
beginning. We'll go.
All right. So our first match of the night was Sami Zayn and CM Punk versus Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker. This match started off hot with Bron Breakker immediately jumping off of the ring and clotheslining Sami through the announce table. You know what it is about this entire show? Before we even inside submit, because this show was only 2 hours for network TV, all of the matches felt like they were rushing them.
Yes,
that's where I didn't really like the show.
Okay.
So Punk and Zayn versus Rollins and Breakker, and this was just a match. This could have been random tag team versus random tag team. I didn't feel like the hatred was there from either side.
I agree.
I felt like they were going through motions. You have Punk on one side with Heyman on the other side, and Rollins, the guys who turned on him at WrestleMania, and it was just like they were just having a match. There was nothing. There were no real story beats.
It wasn't until the very end, after everything went down, when CM Punk was over here trying to grab Heyman's leg and all that.
When he looked like Jeff Van Gundy on Alonzo Mourning's foot in 1999.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a Nick thing. Don't worry. Yeah, okay. It's a Nick thing.
Okay.
If you know, you know. There was a fight between Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson, and Jeff Van Gundy tried to stop it, and all of a sudden, the head coach of the Knicks was being dragged on Alonzo Mourning's foot in the middle of the fight. One of the more wild things I've seen in basketball. So towards the end of the match, we could call it the end of the match, whatever. You got Zayn and Rollins in the ring. Punk is on the outside fighting with the other one. Bron Breakker. Thank you. And through the corner, they did a really weird
angle. Was nice, though. Like, you see them over here in your face, and then you just see him come across, and you're like, what the hell?
So through the corner of the lens, they were in the corner of the... you see a big guy in all black jump over the barricade.
I immediately saw who it was, though.
No, you can immediately tell who it was. So a returning Bronson Reed jumps over the barricade and sprints towards CM Punk and blasts CM Punk with a big splash through the timekeeper barricade. Sami Zayn not paying attention. He's in the ring. He sees what's happening outside. Turns around, gets hit with pedigree. No, Breaker hit a spear on Zayn. Breaker was in the ring. Yeah, Breaker hits a spear on Zayn for the win. Bronson Reed gets into the ring, and at first Seth and Heyman are showing like they don't know why he's here, because if you remember the history, Bronson and Seth had a blood feud that started with him hitting Seth with 5 tsunami splashes at one point. Seth hugs Braun Breaker. This is gonna confuse me all because you have Bronson and Braun. Braun Breaker takes his straps down.
Starts taking his singlet off.
Because it's like starts taking his singlet off because he doesn't know what's going on.
Yep. And he's no one put him in. I'm gonna protect
Seth.
Yep.
Seth gets past him, hugs Bronson, and Braun Breaker shoots a look at Heyman.
And Heyman is like, what? Oh my god.
You can hear Heyman cackling in the background. It's like, I told you we always have a plan, basically. And eventually Punk gets into the ring, grabs onto Heyman's foot, like I said, like Jeff Angotti 99, grabs onto Heyman's foot, curb stomp, splash from Bronson Reed. The 4 guys standing in the middle of the ring celebrating their victory, and then Bronson Reed has now joined Seth Rollins' faction. Effective segment. I really like the addition of Bronson Reed to this group. It's more muscle for Seth. I don't know if you needed another big guy.
It's just throwing me off because, again, he had joined the Bloodline. He didn't
join the Bloodline.
Go watch it again, and they made a comment. They made a comment that he had joined the Bloodline. And again, he had joined the Bloodline in the same way that Jeff Cobb, JC Mateo, had joined the Bloodline. It was only because he got hurt that they took him out of that.
I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be a one-off for War Games.
Maybe it was supposed to be a one-off, but the commentary made it a point to say he joined the Bloodline, good sir. He had joined the Bloodline, good sir.
Okay. Well,
and that's what throws me off. At least explain it.
I think it was supposed to be a one-off. He joins Team Bloodline for War Games versus Team OG or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. People on social media already saying, did Seth forget about this feud? No, Seth did not forget about his feud. Seth is going to make that promo tonight and said, the reason I wanted Braun Breaker in my group is because I know
Bronson
firsthand.
Reed.
Damn it. I'm going to do this all the time. This is why Vince always said you can't have multiple wrestlers with the same name. You have Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and you just fired Braun Strowman. You can't do it.
Well, now it's only 2 of them.
But now they're in the same group. You know how many times I'm going to be doing that, trying to talk about one, I'm going to say the other one?
It's fine.
All right, Seth is going to cut a promo tonight on Raw. I wanted Bronson Reed in my group because I know firsthand what kind of destruction Bronson Reed can dish out. So that was the first segment.
So much for Austin Theory.
Yeah, I just hope they really get him away from Waller at some point and just.
Now we got to figure something else out for him.
Put the strap on his back. They're not going to put him in the Money in the Bank match because they tried that once already. It didn't work the first time. They have to figure out something. Then we get our women's United States Championship match in what was 4.5, 5 minutes of just skippable match.
Yep.
Chelsea Green and Zelina Vega. And we talked about this when Zelina won the title. What are they going to do with Zelina? Are they going to actually push her? Is they going to give her stuff of consequence?
Nope. Because this is her first title defense, and yet this is like their 15th match.
I think it's the second title defense.
No. literally, as she came out, it literally said there in graphic, first title defense.
Okay.
First title defense, but she's fought her like 17 times, bro.
Okay.
This is what I was talking about. Don't give her the title if you're not going to do nothing with her, and you're doing nothing with her. I said that from the beginning. We were both championing for her to get the belt. We were both championing for her to get a push. And this is the push that she's getting. It's the same feud week in and week out for over a month.
Yeah. According to the Bleacher Report, Zelina Vega had a 4-0 record against Chelsea Green coming into this match. So this was match 5.
What'd I say? Match 17.
This was match 5. Chelsea dominated the 4 minutes of this match. She hits a really nasty power bomb on the outside of the ring.
Left her bloody by the end of the match. Zelina.
We'll get into that. Zelina botched a 619.
Yeah.
So towards the end of the match, Zelina goes for the 619 on Chelsea. She botches it. She gets herself like caught up on the ropes, and instead of like stopping the move, it looked like she tried to continue moving after her momentum had already stopped, and she just kicked Chelsea in the face and busted her nose open. She hit the 619. She hit a code red from the second rope. Mm-hmm. Chelsea still got up after bleeding nose. She hits up. She hits a code red from the second rope for the win. To retain the
Women's United States
Championship. I was going to say NXT. It's my brain. Too much wrestling this weekend. I still got to watch that show and All In. Not All In. Double or Nothing. But yeah, Chelsea. So it was Zelina Vega with the win. This is one of my most hated wrestling tropes. Not only did they have only 5 minutes for their match, Chelsea Green came out dressed in red, white, and blue with accents of yellow because she wanted to be the United States champion again. Mm-hmm. Zelina Vega came out in My Hero Academia cosplay. Mm-hmm. That is red, blue, and yellow. Mm-hmm. When you're in a wrestling match against somebody else, the wrestlers should not color coordinate their gear. They look like a tag team. They do not. I was watching this match. I'm just like, why am I watching 2 of the same person wrestle against each other?
It's insane the things that bother you. I just want to say, week in and week out, you find something weird to bother yourself with.
They were wearing the same colored gear.
They're ridiculous.
Both wearing trunks. They're both wearing trunks. Not one of them in pants. Not one of them in something else. They're both in little wrestling boy booty shorts that were the same color.
The only time you made sense when you brought up something like this was with Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair and how they both were in lingerie, basically.
But there were 2 back-to-back weeks where they were both in pink, and then the next week they were both wearing black lingerie.
Yeah.
Just like, you cannot color or coordinate with the person you're feuding against. There was another match years ago where Jinder Mahal and Bobby Roode both wore blue trunks and blue knee pads against each other. And you know Bobby Roode used to tan until he's orange. They looked like twins in the match.
Moving on.
I'm just saying, it's just one of my wrestling tropes. I hate it. One of you guys. Zelina could have cosplayed as anything else that night. She didn't have to do My Hero Academia. She could have come out as...
Why is this on the champ?
Because you know Chelsea...
Why is this on the champ?
Oh my God, you're really going to...
Yes, the champ gets to wear what the champ wants to wear. Yes.
Or the performers should go and talk to each other before the match and say, hey, this is what I'm wearing. What are you going to plan on wearing?
Or not, because they're enemies in kayfabe. Why would they be discussing, hey, let's look different?
I said the performers.
No.
I didn't say that. All right. So then we get John Cena versus Ron Cena.
I love the fact that he came out with the same exact John Cena music
John
And the
Cena comes out
outfit.
with his music, black Arial font like he's doing right now. Walks to the ring, gets into the ring first. And the reason I thought Cena should come out second, but you did it this way, so that way you can have R-Truth come out with the John Cena entrance music, pantomiming John Cena's entrance,
Yep.
talking to the camera, having the last time is now towel, saluting,
Running to the ring.
running to the ring,
Sliding in.
a shirt that has R-Truth on it in John Cena clothes, and it just has duct tape over the name that says Ron Cena. Like, this was, again, this match could have been much more impactful if we were on a standard PLE and given more time.
Yeah.
R-Truth didn't really get that much offense.
Nope.
So John Cena comes in and he starts dominating R-Truth. R-Truth gets his little shine moment where he tries to hit the 5 moves of doom. He hits shoulder block, he hits the side slam, he goes for the
You can't see me.
knuckle shuffle, the 5 knuckle shuffle. And I believe that's when John got up and hit him with a attitude adjustment and put him in a STF. R-Truth breaks out of it, and John goes to get the championship belt. And John gets the championship belt, and he gets into the ring, and
He
R-Truth
did
has
hit
recovered.
He did, by the way, hit him with the 5 moves of doom.
Oh, he did hit the 5 moves of doom because he hit him with an attitude adjustment.
Yes, and Ron also got him in the STF.
Okay. Yeah, he did. I hit him with that adjustment, right?
He hit him with literally everything.
Everything.
He hit him with everything.
So,
but yes, John goes to get the belt.
When Cena gets into the ring, R-Truth has recovered, and they're having their face-to-face moment. And it's more like Truth is telling him with his eyes, are you really going to try to win the match this way? Yep. You're my childhood hero, John Cena. And Cena is holding the belt, staring at the fans. Another wrestling trope. While this is happening, the referee is staring right at John Cena while he's holding the championship belt.
Isn't trying to take it away.
Not trying to take it away.
No.
Nothing. He's just waiting to see what John's going to do.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why is he not trying to get the ref? Why? So eventually, Cena seemingly has a change of heart, hands the belt to the ref. The ref goes to give it to the timekeeper. When the ref's back is turned, Cena hits a low blow on R-Truth and an attitude adjustment for the win. Walks out of the ring with the belt, puts it above his head, blah, blah, blah. And then he walks out. Later on, after the show, did you see R-Truth's promo on social media?
No.
R-Truth cut a promo on social media for WWE.com or whatever the social media channels are now called. And basically saying, I saw a glimpse of the old John Cena. I saw a glimpse of my childhood hero. He's not, I almost had him. He's not that far gone. And basically saying, we're going to get him back before he leaves, is what R-Truth's promo is basically. But he goes, I almost had him, but we're going to get him back. This, again, when they announced, I told you months ago, I wanted this to be a beatdown.
Yep.
I wanted this to be really bad.
Yep.
Because that'll solidify Cena as a heel.
Yep.
And then you can have the Cena, what am I doing? Storyline. This seemed like they went halfway.
Yep.
They went halfway. They were like, we're going to use R-Truth to try to get him back. But because of the constraints of the show and the time format of the show, they just didn't have the emotional feel that this could have had.
100%.
Because everybody loves R-Truth.
100%.
This could have been really, really good if done properly. And this was just like,
it was a rush job.
Yeah. What else? What is like? Hopefully we get more between them in the coming weeks and months. Not another match, but more like backstage segments and promo segments and something. because Truth should be one of the guys to bring him back. Before we get the Damien Priest Drew McIntyre match, we got a backstage segment where Jay, thank you. Jay is
John.
walking. Yeah, Jay is walking through the backstage, and John walks up to him. And immediately I thought, John just had a match. Did he have time to shower? Why is he in a shirt? Why is he in his hat? He should be coming from his match, like winded, going to talk to Jay.
Yeah.
Like he literally just came from the ring. Unless they shot this earlier in the show and they just threw it in there. Because it was probably a pre-tape.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, because I was just like, it doesn't make any sense the way it's formatted. He should be. Yeah. So, and John is basically telling Jay, congratulations for winning the championship for your family and all this stuff. But when I leave with this championship, the WWE, the Universal Championship, wouldn't it be great if you lost your championship to a YouTuber? Wouldn't that just ruin wrestling?
Mm-hmm.
And Jay's face changed.
Yep.
Because immediately he was like, oh, I can't trust John.
Nope.
And it just felt really weird later in the show what happens, because John shouldn't care about that title. Because again, his title has always been, his thing is, I'm going to walk away with the title with the lineage.
I understand your point, but the reason why he cares about it is because he just wants to make it worse. He wants to make a bad situation worse. It's bad enough that we're losing the official title and the lineage. But not only that, let's also lose the one toy belt that we have and put it on the YouTuber.
That no one seems to respect.
Exactly.
I understand it. I'm just like, it's just, oh, God. All right, so then we get your favorite segment. Drew McIntyre and Damien Priest in a steel cage match.
Jesse Ventura should not be allowed on commentary. That's literally what I got from this match.
From the moment this match started to the moment it ended, Jesse is great at color commentary, but he doesn't seem to know when it's his turn to talk anymore.
100%. 100%.
Lillian Garcia is trying to explain to the crowd and the people at home the rules of the match, and Jesse would not shut the hell up
at all.
He just talked right over her. And I'm just like, yo, that's the time you lay out. You give the ring announcer the chance to explain to people who may not know the rules of a steel cage match.
Yep.
You just shut up.
Yep.
And he's doing his traditional 1980s heel commentary thing. He goes, Drew shouldn't be in this match. Drew's a good-looking guy. Drew's blah, blah, blah. He shouldn't be in all the stuff he was saying. Apparently, he doesn't know the rules of a WWE steel cage match either. Because
he got so upset going in. He got so upset. He was so tight. He was like, wait, he's winning just by walking out? What is this?
So,
and then he just kept complaining. So do they get a discount on the ref because the ref all they're doing is counting? I'm like, what?
He goes, all she has to do is count the pinfalls? Do we get a discount on that? Does she make her full salary? And I'm like, what?
This man.
So, Damien Priest and Drew McIntyre, fun match. Both these guys hit their finishers, hit each other's finishers on each other. Everybody keeps kicking out. Drew had come into the ring with a steel chair. I don't know where the second steel chair came from, but there was two in that ring, and I know Drew only walked in with one. I don't know where the second one came from.
Me neither.
So, towards the end of the match, after Drew hits a South of Heaven on Priest and Priest kicks out, Priest gets to the corner. There's a steel chair propped up in the corner like at WrestleMania when Drew claymored Priest's head into the chair. He goes for the Claymore. Damien moves. Drew ends up claymoring the chair. Damien hits a South of Heaven on Drew. He positions Drew face down on one of the steel chairs. Grabs the second steel chair and hits a concerto on Drew.
This was stupid.
this was where Damien was like, I'm not going to just pin you. And Michael Cole made that point. I'm not going to just pin you. I'm going to give you the disrespect of walking out on you and winning this match.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Cole said that.
Yeah.
That's when Jesse Ventura, obviously, his brain is still stuck in the territory days where a steel cage match was only pinfall or submission. It wasn't until
Or
Vince,
climbing out of the ring. That's what he was waiting for.
Yeah, because Vince changed that rule in the 80s. He was waiting for Damian Priest to climb over the top and get 2 feet on the ground. That was never a thing until Vince made that a WWE thing. So Damian just walks out of the ring and puts 2 feet on the ground and wins the match while Priest is laying flat on the stomach. And again, Jesse Ventura just goes off about Priest just walking out of the cell.
Mm-hmm.
Even to the point where he's like, he could have just asked a limo driver to come and open the door for him or something. And I'm just like, what?
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about?
The part that bothered me was the concerto. And the reason I say that is because he hit the concerto, and after he walks out of the ring and then he starts walking up the ramp, the camera goes back to the ring, and Drew is sitting up.
Yeah, he almost like this is a normal chair shot.
Not even that. You know what it immediately made me think of? This feud's not ending. This feud is going to keep going. Do you understand what I'm telling you? There was no consequence. This was a quick, I hit him with a concerto. He's unaffected. And now this is going to continue. Where was the end? Where was the finality of this? I hate this. Do you understand me? No, I'm not clipping nothing. I hate this so much. This is not over. It's never going to be over. And I'm done, bro. I am done. Oh my God. It hurts my heart and my head and every fiber of my spirit is gone. As soon as I saw it, I said, they're going to keep this going. Because he's alive and he's unaffected by a concerto. Like, oh my God.
Oh, God. Roman crashing out is hilarious. I believe this feud is over.
Okay.
You cannot have a steel cage match which ends in a concerto and have this feud continue going.
Okay, you keep telling yourself that, and when they have another match, don't say nothing to me.
Where do you go from here? You gonna go to Hell in a Cell now? I don't want to see this in a Hell in a Cell.
I thought they did that.
No, that was Drew and CM Punk last year.
Whatever, same difference. So now they're going Hell in the Cell. There you go. Or Gauntlet.
With who?
I mean, not Gauntlet. What's the
Iron Man?
Iron Man. Yeah, let's go Iron Man.
So these two guys can get 13 pinfalls in 30 minutes? Nah, I'm cool.
First off, they don't go that high. It'll be like 3.
I think one maybe years ago. It was like a Rock Triple H one like 6'5" or some shit like that. But that was an hour-long match. All right, so then we got our main event. Jey Uso versus Logan Paul. And this is where I will crash out.
Okay.
With all due respect to both of these wrestlers.
Okay.
I didn't need this on the goddamn TV. This was a standard Jey Uso match with nothing special. Super kicks, Samoan drops. Logan Paul doesn't hit anything high flying to make him look special. His entire offense of the match seemed like he was trying to hit a right hand on Jey Uso the entire time. Mm-hmm. Like, this was the most useless World Heavyweight Championship match I've ever seen, other than maybe Great Khali in a Punjabi prison match. This was terrible. I didn't need this. I didn't want this. Jey Uso, you know how I feel about him. He's a solid wrestler. He's perfectly fine. But you put him in a match against a guy who can't carry a match to begin with, against a guy who might be a little average to above average in the ring, but we made him one of your 2 world champions because he does this every week. Like, I don't need this. I didn't want this. I don't need Cena interjecting himself afterwards because he wants to ruin wrestling. I don't need Cena having Logan Paul be his world heavyweight champion, and I definitely don't need Cody coming in and Cody and Cena. That feud should not be happening right now. That needs to be later this year, but when Cena's going to lose that championship. I didn't need Cody coming back after 6 weeks back to save Jey Uso. Like none of this elevated anybody.
Mm-hmm.
None of this did anything for anybody other than to announce that at Money in the Bank, we're getting John Cena and Mr. I See Something Over There in Japan against the worst of the 2 twins and the product of Dusty Rhodes' stuff. Like, I don't need this. This tag match is unnecessary. And what happened to Travis Scott? Wasn't it supposed to be Travis Scott and John Cena at Money in the Bank against somebody? Where is he been? Like, why? Please tell me why John Cena interjected himself in this. Please, and it's not just because he wants to ruin wrestling for everybody.
That's the answer. That's it. Sorry to burst that bubble. There's nothing deeper. My thoughts on the match? Everything you said. My thoughts on the aftermath? I don't need Cody on my television. And I don't mean in general. Although we both know I'm not the biggest Cody fan. I just don't need him right now. I agree with your point. He should not be coming back this early. Unless the plan is not for him to take the belt off. That's the only thing that made sense for him to come back so early. He should have came back later, and he should have taken the belt off later.
Or you have him come back and you keep him away from John Cena for a while.
Or that
you don't need him right now in a feud with Cena.
Yeah.
Like I come over, and since when does he call Jay his brother? Like, Jay was part of the bloodline. Stupid. Jay was part of the bloodline that was screwing you over for 2 years.
He did look a little more swole.
I know the 2 of you won tag team championships at one point.
That's a positive.
I know the 2 of them are former tag team champions together. Got drunk in a locker room one day, went into a post match press conference and acted like a bunch of fools. I know that happened, but I don't like. When are you and Jay all of a sudden super cool? Did I miss something?
No, that's his guy.
Since when?
Since last night. Sorry, since Saturday.
Okay. All right. Well, to the end of the match. So I will just recap the match since I just went on a 4-minute thing. In the most mid match I've ever seen. Maybe not. I have seen some Nia Jax Charlotte matches. John Cena comes out. Oh, and there's another thing. John Cena comes out and pulls the referee out of the ring and starts immediately beating up Jey Uso in the middle of the ring. He didn't do anything to the ref other than pull him out of the ring. How long does it take a referee to recover from just being pulled out of the ring?
Apparently a long time.
Because when he starts beating him down, the bell didn't ring.
Nope.
This was not a disqualification.
No, it was not.
Cody came out after and beats down John Cena, hits him with a crossroads, and then puts Jay back in the ring to hit another splash on Logan Paul to get the 3 count. Jay beat him by pinfall. Why was this not a DQ?
I'm not understanding the problem.
The problem is if you pull the ref out,
yeah,
and the ref doesn't have any physical thing done to him that makes the ref pass out. What was the referee doing while John Cena was standing over Jey Uso and pounding on him?
Chilling.
Or What was the referee doing when Cody Rhodes came in the middle of the ring and hits a crossroads? At that point, shouldn't the referee's discretion be like, I'm throwing this match out?
No. He's forgetting that he's a ref, and he's remembering that he's a fan, and he watched.
Can we get that discount that Jesse Ventura was talking about during the other match?
No.
Because between both those matches, I feel like the referee should have worked for free. I might agree with Jesse Ventura on that point.
You're not wrong.
That's it. That's all I got. Like that. We're getting John Cena and Logan Paul against Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso at Money in the Bank, which will probably be a mid-card match, and probably the men's Money in the Bank will main event. And I don't know, man. Like, it's a match I didn't need.
Overall, what are your thoughts on Saturday night main event?
I'm happy, like I said, I got to watch it on a replay, and I only spent 90 minutes watching it because
you'd have been upset, watching it live and spending all that time.
Yeah, because this was not a PLE or spectacle-worthy show.
Yeah.
It feels like a house show that they're just putting a little bit more sauce on.
I'll give you that.
And we're doing it every 3 months now. Like, so we're getting another one in July. Yeah. Oh, how do you feel that they actually, Triple H announced Evolution 2 on July 13th?
Oh, did he? I didn't hear that.
Yes, he did. He announced it last night, I believe.
Oh, nice. On when?
Evolution, July 13th, Sunday, July 13th.
Nice. I gotta watch that.
Yeah. So I saw a thing. So it's going to be at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta.
Okay.
At the same time, in the building next door, there's going to be a Beyonce concert happening. There's a Beyonce concert happening next door to a all-women's wrestling show.
That's interesting.
They're going to have a hell of a time selling this show. Because if you've ever been to Atlanta, it is the African-American capital of the South.
Yep.
And if you ever speak to an African-American woman, Beyonce is God.
Yes.
So they're going to have a really hard time selling Evolution.
I disagree. And here's why. They're just going to reschedule it like everything else. And it's going to go somewhere else.
Probably.
That's all I'm saying. They probably didn't pay attention to the booking. But all I can say is, too, traffic is going to be crazy. Good luck.
Good luck, all you people in Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, the weekend was okay. It was just okay.
Well, you enjoyed SmackDown, and Saturday night main event brought you down a bit.
Absolutely.
I thought SmackDown was okay, and Saturday night main event was So, overall, it was fine, I guess. Overall.
All right, so we have Raw tonight, and we'll have our Raw review up tomorrow. Let me see if they have a preview. That's what's happening tonight, because it airs in 2 hours. Nope, this is Cage Side Seats. I do not want Cage Side Seats preview. I want the WWE Raw. The New Day are defending. Oh, tonight's a triple threat match. The New Day are defending their tag team championships against the War Raiders and the Creed brothers tonight. Mm-hmm. We get Rusev Machka against Akira Tozawa tonight. And that's
been weeks in the waiting.
It's been 3 weeks. And that is all WWE has on their website for a Raw preview tonight.
Yay! I'm excited.
Nothing about Seth Rollins, nothing about CM Punk, nothing. That's all they have on their Raw preview. New Day, triple threat match, and Rusev and Akira Tozawa.
That's
They
terrible.
didn't even announce a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Nothing.
That's terrible. All
So,
right. Good luck to us tonight.
whew, I might need another Red Bull to get through that.
But yeah, as you can tell, these were our thoughts on Raw,
SmackDown.
SmackDown, and Saturday Night Main Event. What are your thoughts? Share them with us in the comments below. As always, we want you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and tell us how you feel so that we can continue to grow the community. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.